All right, guys, thank you for getting out of that commercial early because we want to go to this situation that's happening live. Again, this is in Hidalgo County, Texas. Allie Bradley, our border correspondent, is there, embedded with them. Allie, tell us what's going on.
Yeah, hey Dan. So we're going about 105 miles an hour. We are not in a pursuit, rather a response. They have 5 people who just breached the wall. We have already apprehended 2 of them on site, so we are rushing to get there before they get in a vehicle. If they get loaded up, then it becomes a bigger problem. So I'm going to let Lieutenant Olivares explain that a little bit. LT, we're heading to the wall. What's going on?
Yeah, so right now, Dan, of course, for the audience, the area that we're in right now, it's a very dynamic situation because as people cross the river, they're guided by other smugglers, and then they're able to breach the border wall in a matter of seconds and then get loaded up in a vehicle. So our response is, as a state police agency, we want to get there to provide support for Border Patrol so we can prevent the other smugglers loading them up in a vehicle where then they turn into a high-speed chase. So we're trying to get to that situation right now, but as you can see, it's a very dynamic situation. We can be in one area, and then we have to respond to another area to provide that support.
Now, LT, how many people are down here on the ground working this area? It's pretty big.
It's a very large area, and it's a very busy area because the river is so close to where we're at right now as far as infrastructure. So it's very easy for people to get across the river illegally and then go get loaded up in a vehicle. It's a matter of minutes. It's a very, very fast and dynamic situation.
Hey, Allie, can you ask the lieutenant there? You know, he mentioned that you want to get there before the smugglers are able to get anyone into a vehicle. Is this the kind of opportunity to potentially catch any of the smugglers?
LT, you can hear him, right?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we want to get there so we can actually arrest the smuggler. That is our primary goal as a state police agency, is to focus on the smuggler, to arrest them and take them to jail. And that's why we have to respond in these type of situations very quickly, because at times we lose them. That's why we talk about those gotaways. So if we're not there trying to respond to these situations, then we lose them.
Now,
and we don't want to do that.
We actually got a foot guide last night, LT, right?
Yeah, so I mean, of course, there's so many different aspects of the situation on the border, especially where we're at right now. And you've seen it throughout different states along the border. But where we're at right now, it's not only dealing with human smugglers that are driving vehicles, but also smugglers that are actually bringing people across the river, foot guides, or also known as coyotes, that are bringing people across so they can get loaded up in a vehicle. So multiple different situations happening all at once. It's a very coordinated and sophisticated operation that these cartels are operating.
Yeah, like the border agent said in our interview, the cartels are controlling the border, Dan.
We're going to stay with you. We're going to keep watching you there and wait until we see if you arrive there. But in the meantime, I want to bring back in Sheriff Mark Daniels from Cochise County, Arizona. As we're let's keep that video up, guys. I want to keep watching what they're doing there. But Sheriff, the reason I'm going to you, obviously, is because we got a lot of law enforcement on this show. But you're the one who deals with this on a regular basis. The goal there, as we just heard there from the lieutenant, is to catch the smugglers, right? Those are the ones that you're really after.
Yes. It truly is. These are the people coming from all over the country, Dan, coming to our county and counties throughout the 31 counties on the border here to commit this international crime. And then a lot of times they're bringing their criminal baggage with them, their drugs with them, their weapons with them. We've seen a huge uptick in weapons by smuggler drivers. And let me just say, they work for the cartels. They have no respect for these migrants. We've had 7-year-olds, children stuffed in trunks with the drivers going 100 miles an hour, 9 o'clock at night with no headlights in the opposite lane of traffic. We're protecting the migrants here, too, that are being trafficked and smuggled by these criminal cartels.
That's such a good point. I mean, it's such an important point to remember. That, you know, when people think of the folks at the border, law enforcement at the border, what are they doing? Oh, they're just trying to catch people crossing the border. No, you just heard the sheriff there. That's not the focus. The focus is to catch the smugglers.
That's right.
The ones who are organizing this, the ones who are spearheading it, the ones who are being paid for it, the ones who are enabling it. That's the real issue here as we continue to watch this happen in real time. Let me ask Commissioner Sapienza, who's here with me live from Yonkers, New York. You probably don't get this kind of view, right? I mean, you see the after effects in Yonkers.
Absolutely, but what we also see is the after effect based on the fact that there's no plan. People are coming in, they're granting asylum. In 6 years, maybe they won't even get asylum. But what's the plan?
They're claiming asylum. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry, did someone else want to get in there? Let me go then to Chief Strokas, also in Oak Brook, Illinois Police Department there. Have you actually had an opportunity, Chief, to be at the border itself?
I have not.
Yeah.
But we're seeing it out here.
That's what I'm saying.
On a daily basis.
Right. I'm just saying you're dealing with the after effects, right? You're dealing with the impact of it on a daily basis. And this is why I think that for all of us, us in the media as well, it's really important to be able to see it happening, how much of it is happening in real time, how often it occurs. And, it is a real challenge for law enforcement. What is going on there? It looks... Allie, can you...
A couple of migrants here.
Allie, let's go back to Allie Bradley.
Okay. Okay, hey guys, we just pulled over here. We're tracking that group that we were telling you about. So there's a couple individuals here, some single adults here that were just picked up by Border Patrol. We've just arrived on scene. Lieutenant Olivares, let's talk a little bit about kind of what's unfolding here. We literally just arrived, so we have not talked to Border Patrol, so we don't know much about these individuals.
Exactly. So we know now that we have two that Border Patrol was able to apprehend. But these individuals were able to breach the border wall in a matter of seconds. That's why how quick it is. Actually, we got to go. We got some more.
We got to go. We got to get some more, guys. All right, let's go.
Okay. Hey, Allie, once she's sitting down.
There's a guy trying to get into.
Yeah.
Yeah, Allie. Okay, once you're sitting down.
We got to go where there's more.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I mean, it seems
okay, there's more trying to get into a car.
Got it.
Let me follow this.
So we're heading down to go to respond to these individuals that are getting in the car. So Border Patrol's got those too. They don't need us there. So we're going to go where we're needed, and that's where these individuals are trying to load up into the car that Sergeant Caceres just got the tip on. So that's where we're heading. You actually see a Border Patrol motorcycle, dirt bike over here to our left. So we've got activity out here. We're following a Border Patrol car. A lot of activity here right now, Dan. So again, out here you have ATVs, you have horseback, you've got the helicopters, we have different lights over here. We've got another law enforcement vehicle that's searching in this area. So it looks like they kind of believe that somebody might be on foot in this area that we are traveling along. And we've got our windows down, we're looking out, we're trying to find if there's anybody out here. This is what we're up against. So like Lieutenant Oliveira says, these individuals are breaching this wall so quickly, a matter of seconds, and it is basically off to the races for these individuals, and they're hiding in this very thick brush. And look at this industrial. There are buildings everywhere. There are so many places to hide before these individuals are really picked up by these load vehicles. So that's what they're contending with down here. Like Lieutenant Oliveira says, it's a very dynamic situation. So again, we have multiple agencies on the ground right now. We are embedded with this elite brush team that, as you can see, they have to pivot and go in the vehicles and go after individuals that are getting into these smuggling vehicles before it can become a pursuit. And a bigger problem for law enforcement and also for the community. It's very dangerous when these pursuits go through these communities, Dan.
Oh, yeah.
So right now, that's what they're trying to prevent. Again, we've got a state entity here with Texas DPS under Governor Abbott's Operation Lone Star working hand in hand with the federal agents of Border Patrol. So that's what we're seeing unfolding right now. That is what they're doing every single night down here. This is what we did last night as well. But right now we are looking for people that are on foot that just breached the border wall, and we're trying to get them before they get into a loaded vehicle, a smuggling vehicle, and then end up basically going north towards San Antone, and then north from there into whatever stash house or whatever other area they kind of disappear into in the interior of our country.
And again, I think that it's worth repeating that the primary goal in these efforts is to get the smugglers, right? I mean, you heard the lieutenant there, Olivares, refer to it. You heard Sheriff Mark Daniels refer to it. That is that's the ultimate goal here, because they're the ones who can make all of this happen. This has really been something as we're continuing to watch that here. This happens to be a Thursday. That's about all that makes today special. And we just decided it's important to see what's happening at the border on a typical day. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider.
And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.